southcoastjazz.com.
Since its foundation in 2014, South Coast Jazz has attracted top jazz musicians like David Sanborn, Holly Cole, Gene DiNovi, and Toronto Shuffle Demons, and the support of media figures like broadcaster Brian Master and the legendary Dini Petty. And the potential for growth is only beginning. Moving to an online festival tripled South Coast Jazz audience, boasting 6,200 video views over a 3-day festival. The online presence attracted over 1.3 million YouTube subscribers in Europe and grew over 800,000 new Facebook impressions in Asia, expanding the festival age and geographic demographics.
One step closer to home. I'll have to leave.
2020's festival brought us all one step closer to home, with a pandemic and original music by Queen Pepper and Jazz West. Thank you to the Wall Street Journal for recognizing South Coast Jazz as a top international must-see online event. The incredible Jackie Richardson and Mika Barnes were nothing short of captivating. 2020 was a scream. Fasten your seatbelts for John Finley. 2021 also features Juno nominee Heather Bambrick and will again be recorded live off the floor with 6 cameras and multi-tracks, ensuring a world-class presentation. Norfolk County is known as Ontario's garden, and for good reason. It is also increasingly being recognized as a Canadian wine region, making it ripe for agritourism. With the same unstoppable spirit and energy that made her unforgettable on stage, Juliann has brought amazing music to Norfolk County, drawing in local merchants, wineries, and restaurants. With every new event, she fulfills her promise to bring the region incredible award-winning talent in a gorgeous, beachfront rural setting. Passing on her gifts to the next generation gave Juliann joy when she started her own performance school, Pro Art, and she continues that commitment with South Coast Jazz and the Jazz and Juniors program. The festival's first 3 years saw a 7-figure boost in local tourist spending, making South Coast Jazz a major economic driver and international tourist destination. Come play and stay and discover the rural experience of South Coast Jazz, what visitors from 50 cities, 4 provinces, and 3 states already have. The beauty of Ontario's garden and the pleasure of real instruments, real food, real memories. Come to South Coast Jazz, Norfolk County, and take away memories you'll carry with you forever.
Hi, and welcome to the 8th Annual South Coast Jazz and Blues Festival. My name is Juliann Kuchocki, and wow, are you in for a treat. We would like to thank Norfolk County. We would also like to thank Ontario Creates and Canada Council for the Arts. Without them, none of this would be possible. Next, we have an incredibly multi-talented woman. Her name is Heather Bambrick, and she's here with her quintet. Chase Sanborn on trumpet, Ben Wittman on drums, Ross MacIntyre on bass, and on piano, the hand, Michael Shand.
This is a tune written by two incredible songwriters who now make their homes in the States, originally from Ontario, but now one lives in New York, one lives in LA, but they somehow managed to make beautiful music together. It's written by the Bright Brothers. This is the idea of when something doesn't work out, always have a plan B. So it's called Take the B Train.
You must maintain a level of detachment when your life's about the riding of the rails. Just travel light and steer clear of attachment, and I can guarantee you happy trails. I'll throw away the things I thought I needed and stake me out some new terrain. Then if plan A derails, well, I'll concede it and simply climb aboard the B train. The only thing that changes is the scenery. I have put my faith in this machinery. This town's an open book, can't wait to read it. It just might tell me take the B train.
Get ready, because this next performer is a firecracker. Accompanied by the Lou Pomanti Trio, Mr. John Finley.
Here's something not on the album. It's something I love to do. And Errol Garner wrote the music for this. And Johnny Burke, thankfully, he decided to write some lyrics to it. You'll know it. Look ooh, 1, 2, 3. Me. I'm as helpless as a kid up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand it. Just hold out your hand. Baby, walk my way. Sounds like thousands of violins begin to. What do they just swinging it.
John Finley, you and I were having a discussion and I stopped because it's something I wanted to speak about with one of the musicians here, and it's about what the magic of music is for people. We all recognize that it exists, but I'm not quite sure how to translate it into language. How it makes people so happy and changes. What is it?
The human heart is a tabernacle. When you open the tabernacle, inside is joy. And the gift that I have, that players, singers that play from that place have, is the ability. We have the key that turns the lock and opens the door. There's a song, Open the Door to Your Heart. And that's what it is. When I was about 10 or 11, I had a cousin who was 16. And he had great records. He had the doo-wop records. He had Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, Little Richard. He had some B.B. King, some Muddy Waters. He had Huey Piano Smith and the Clowns, Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu, and the Dells and the Turbans and the Five Satins and all that stuff. And I would just sit there and be so filled with it. I remember my mother looking at me and going, "Johnny, are you okay?" And she didn't understand it. What I was doing was I was having this epiphany.
At age 10?
Yeah. So I remember when I was like 10, 11, 12, standing in front of a mirror in the bedroom, using this little thing, pretending it was a microphone,
right.
And Little Richard. And I was, right, mouthing the words.
You've sung every different kind of music that there is. You have had such extraordinary success. You've traveled the world. You were with the Rhinoceros. You had international success. You were on a show with the Rolling Stones, and they loved you guys more than they loved the Rolling Stones. You basically have done it all.
This gift of joy, of being able to unlock joy in other people's hearts, in my own heart to start with, is such a gift. It is so profound an experience. And I'll do anything to make it, I want it to last.
It's such a pleasure to meet you. I've enjoyed our conversation before, during, and I hope there's some to come after. And the album is called John Finley Soul Singer.
Yeah.
What a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are so lucky to be entertained by Jean DiNovi and Dave Young, two living legends here in Canada.
now Juliann Kuchocki with the Lou Pomanti Trio.
This next song is kind of fun, near and dear. It's off my album, Broken Compass. It's called 15 Minutes, and it's inspired by a friend of mine. One day I was having a terrible day, and she said, just take it one day at a time, just one day at a time. I said, the day is too long. She said, okay, break it down to 15 minutes. And so there's a song in there. This is 15 minutes.
When times get rough, they say to take it one day at a time. Take a deep breath, let your soul unwind. But when 24 hours is too long to bear, break it down to 15 minutes. It's easier, I swear. 15 minutes. Ooh, 15 minutes. 15 minutes at a time will help you save your mind. When you got bills to pay and life keeps kicking you in the face, when you run out of options and lost your pace, multiply 60 by 24, divide by 15 and see 96 sections of heaven, believe you me. Oh, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes at a time will keep your life in line. Yeah, yeah. sections of heaven. Ow!
Yeah, babies. Woo! That one was for you, Mom.
You are proof positive of a person having a dream and an ambition and determined to make it work. And the one thing I know about you is you don't quit. You just got a huge, huge government grant. You got written up in the Wall Street Journal. Are you believing that this has actually all happened over 8 years and it's such a success at this point?
It's a good question. I do know that it's happening. It's just that sometimes I don't even know what's happening until it's happening. So learning how to kind of enjoy the ride has been an experience. I'm finally to the point where there's some great people that we can hire. We're being recognized for all the hard work that we're doing. It's so much fun. And so that makes it real, sitting back and being able to, you know, get all the work done and sit down there and take it in, because I'm just as much of a fan of the music as I am someone who likes to do it myself.
It's interesting having known you for these last 4 or 5 years and kind of live through this every year with you. And as somebody said to me today, this woman in an area that grows asparagus has got this jazz festival going. Does she know how amazing she is and what she's accomplished?
I love organizing it, but I do wish that I could do more. I think the balance is off because I live behind a computer and a phone. I get tendonitis, you know, I'm wah, bring out the violins, but it's a lot of work. And I did the work of like 30 people myself for like 5 or 6 years. And then we slowly got into having more people. And it's pretty common knowledge that this year we've lost one of our major contributors that used to help with the festival. Michael Badawoy, he was one of our hosts and helped with social media and stuff and helped me, and he was a partner of mine and one of my best friends. And then recently Aaron Bell also. Thankfully, after that recognition last year from the Wall Street Journal for our ability to be able to pivot into an online festival, it all kind of, you know, falls into place. All the film and television, that not all, I did a little bit. The stuff I did, I was lucky to do. I got to work with good people. And so I knew a crew already, and it was COVID, and everyone was off. So it was like, hey, let's just shoot this and do a TV style. You know, do it right with multi-tracks and lots of cameras, make everybody look dynamite for a few songs, you know?
But why did you want to do it in the first place? Where does somebody sitting down, living in Port Dover go, you know, I think I'm going to do a jazz. Like, where did that come from originally?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. You know what happened? I had 4 car accidents that ruined my dance career.
I'm sorry. You had 4 car accidents.
Yeah.
In like a long period, or what? Within a year?
Between the span of 1998 and 2004. And I got to the point where I'm sitting at home, you know, after car accident number 4, I'm living in my house, no way to make income anymore. And I'm like, what do I want to do? I'm like sitting in my living room. You go through depression, you go through all these things, you know, and heavy stuff, you know, when you lose everything. And at the same time, and then I started losing other things like my animals, my mother, my grandmother, my partner, you know, suddenly. And it's a lot, but at that time when I decided to do this, I was like, what do I still love? What still moves me? What makes me want to stay alive? And it was music. And I couldn't dance, so therefore I started singing more. And I took that time, and I healed, you know, physically and mentally, and then, you know, get back into it. And all these beautiful things keep happening, like the government of Canada. I mean, I've always been proud to be Canadian, but they have really, we would not even have a festival this year if it weren't for Canada Council for the Arts and Ontario Creates. And Norfolk County really stepped up this year too.
I've often said that you don't know how much you can take until you have to walk a mile in your own shoes. You're an incredible example to anybody who's watching who has a dream that dreams can come true. And trust me, over these past 5 or 6 years, I have watched you. Nothing has stopped you. And we're going to end with that. And just one last final word. Amen and congratulations. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Thank you, Dini.
You're welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Norfolk County's Mayor, Crystal Chop. Today I would like to take the opportunity to send a big congratulations to South Coast Jazz on their 8th annual festival. It might sound a little schmaltzy, but as a Port Doverite, I am beyond proud at the resilience and the creativity of this team to take a large in-person music festival and create this great hybrid event.
Hey Jazz fans, Mike Marini from the Dover Apothecary here. Once again, we're proud to sponsor this amazing event with lots of local talent. So on behalf of myself and the staff of DoBer Apothecary, we welcome you to the 2021 South Coast Jazz Festival. Enjoy.
Find everything you need.
The amount of talent, creativity, and discipline it takes to be as great as this next guest is outstanding. All the way from New Jersey to South Coast Jazz, South Coast Cultural Society is thrilled to present original music by Charu, Suri, and her trio.
Charu has come up with her second album. This is Book of Ragas Volume 2, and it's an interesting kind of music. It's extremely different in the jazz world, and I'm sure people's reaction is much the same as mine. I was like, oh.
I'm glad.
And the fact that you started playing a piano at 5 years of age, and I'm always curious about how people find their instrument. Did a piano come into your life because your mom and dad said you're going to take piano lessons?
No. A piano came into my life because my father was the chief executive officer of a record label company in Africa. He just got this amazing job. That was when I was 5 years old. And the bungalow, the apartment that they gave him, had a piano.
Oh, that's incredible.
And I started playing the piano, and to quote my mom verbatim, she said, "You just started playing and you just never stopped. So we just had to give you lessons." So that was how the piano came into my life. I came back to India at the age of 9, and I continued my piano lessons with arguably the best piano teacher in the city, if not the country. And she was really world renowned, and she gave me such a great discipline, and she started putting me on stage. So I was performing everything from Chopin's Gerbasi to Mussorgsky's Pictures at an exhibition from the age of 9 on stages in the city. It was an amazing experience.
So you were comfortable as a child on stage and just wanted to be at the piano, but you did play Carnegie Hall. And and there were several different ways to describe it. You were the first East Indian composer, female.
Jazz composer, yes.
Were you thrilled and a little nervous? And
well, it was funny because the day before my performance, my first Sufi singer, who was on my very first Book of Ragas recording, she developed laryngitis and she couldn't sing. Okay. So I had to find a last-minute replacement on the day of the show who could learn my music. I know, it was talk about stress to the millionth level. And I found Umer Paracha, or Falsa, who's on this second Book of Ragas. I just gave him a call and I said, "You don't know me from Adam, but I heard you're a Sufi singer." And how many Sufi singers are there in New York? Very few. I could just count them, in 3 fingers. And he said, "Yes, I know all the ghazals. I don't know your music." But in 4 or 5 hours, he practiced. We rented a studio in Manhattan on the day of the show. He learned everything and he stole the show. We got a standing ovation.
When did you tell this gentleman, your Sufi singer who's on this album, that, oh, by the way, tonight we're playing? Oh, great. And where are we playing? Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
Was he like?
He kind of did a double, triple take, I think. He almost fell off his chair.
You have accomplished so much, so many awards. You're so young. When you look into your future, where do your dreams lead you?
Honestly, I want to inspire people to take risks and create and find their true voice, because I think jazz is a quest for identity. When I listen to Nina Simone, I'm listening to not just her virtuosity, but I'm listening to her soul. When I listen to Trombone Shorty, I'm listening to the entire history of New Orleans and his trombone playing and his virtuosity. When I listen to Louis Armstrong, that's what I hear as well. Not just notes, but their entire work, their soul and their story. I'm hoping to inspire not just, anyone, but women in particular, and voices that have been marginalized and who have been sort of, suppressed, to just take their gifts and their culture and embrace it and make something beautiful out of it, because we want to hear those stories. I definitely want to hear those stories. I want to hear the magic and not let a certain style dominate a genre. So
I was so looking forward to meeting you. I've read so much about you, and I've listened to your music, and my dream for the future is one day we get to meet live and in person.
Oh, same here. I'm so glad I met you.
Our next performers we are thrilled to announce. dTaborah Tabby Johnson, accompanied by Dave Restivo.
Tell you now to wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in that water. You know that God's gonna trouble the water. Sing now, wade in the water. Come on now, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. Dressed in red, wade in the water. Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on now, wade in the water. Yeah, wade in the water now, children, wade in the water. You know that God's gonna trouble that water. Dressed in white, wading in the water. Must be the children of the Israelites. God's gonna trouble that water. Come on now, wade in that water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. You know God's gonna trouble. Trouble the water. Well, must be the children of the Israelites. God's gonna trouble that damn water. Come on now, wade in the water. Wade in that water now, children. You got to wade in that water. You know God's gonna trouble that water. Come on and wade gonna trouble. Let me tell you now, God's surely gonna trouble. He's troubling all the waters right now. Waiting, waiting, waiting. God's gonna trouble that water.
Steve Heathcote, Steve Lucas, and Lou Pomanti make up the Lou Pomanti Trio.
southcoastjazz.com.
It's been quite a year. It's been quite a couple of years. Thank you so much for sticking with us. The Canadian government, so proud to be Canadian. Thank you to all of the crew and the talent, and Canada Council for the Arts, Ontario Creates, and Norfolk County. Without you, none of this would be possible. Thank you. And we would just like to give a special thanks to the family and friends of our beloved Michael Badawoy and Aaron Bell. This one's for you.
Find everything you need.